Hi everyone, so I've got something a little bit different for you today just because I was trying to find information on how to change an ABS control module or the ABS pump in an Audi TT Mk2, but there was nothing really that I could find that was helpful and really showed you the way to do it. So here it is, the process in how I removed my ABS pump and control module and upgraded it to a Quattro version. So this is the ABS pump and control module, but before you get to that, you do have to remove the airbox and intake for the best access. Then there's a little bit of a procedure that you need to do with the brake pedal, where it's recommended to depress the brake pedal and then bleed the front left and rear left calipers. After that, you can go ahead and release and remove the ABS module connector, move that out of the way, and then you're able to start removing the lines from the pump. It's definitely recommended to use flare nut spanners on these connections, as using a regular spanner may round the head. I've started to use a regular spanner here after the fitting has been cracked with a flare nut spanner. I just found it easier to use this type of spanner after it's been loosened off. This flare nut spanner is a little bit tricky to work with to completely remove the fittings from the pump. So you'll probably notice that I've had this one line hanging out there for a very long time. Now, because of that brake pump and brake bleed procedure at the very beginning, only a little bit of fluid will come out. It's a really nice procedure to ensure that, all your brake fluid just doesn't go everywhere. Alright, finally, after a little bit of work, got all the lines loose and I was able to take that control unit out and swap it in for the Quattro version. Now it is a little bit tricky getting the unit back in and getting the rubber feet to line up with their mounting holes, but you can just move the lines around as you need to. They won't break, they're quite bendable, so go ahead and line everything up, and then you need to push the unit back into its bracket. Really sorry about the bad angle here and you can't really see what I'm doing, but I found that at this sort of angle I could push onto the unit as best as I could to get it to push back into its bracket. Now I do want to make sure that you guys don't damage your brake line fittings when reinstalling them back into the pump. If there's any resistance when you're tightening these nut fittings back on, undo it and then start again, because you don't want to cross thread them.
Once all the fittings are back in, you want to do the final tightenings with your flare nut spanners to make sure that they don't leak. There will be some brake fluid spillage, but just make sure you clean it all up with your brake fluid cleaner. Before spraying around the control module unit, you want to make sure that you've plugged that fitting back into the electronics. Once that's done, it's time to top up the brake fluid and then follow the BCDS procedure for brake bleeding. Now, if you've never done this before, all you need to do is follow what the program tells you. So you can see in this step, it's asking you to release the brake pedal, have the front right and front left bleed screws open. Then what you do is you press the on/off next button and you follow the steps from there on. It's cycling between doing different steps. Basically, you'll have to be pressing on the pedal in one step and the ABS pump activates for you. Then you close the bleed nipple and then you pump the brake pedal again. And then the next step is to open the bleed nipples. The program pumps the ABS pump for you, releases the bubbles, and then it cycles through that cycle a few times before you got brake pedal feel back. After the fronts are done, then you want to go ahead and bleed the rear brake calipers as well. Alright, and that's it. Hope you found that helpful, and don't forget to subscribe for more Audi TT Mk2 content using the link in the bottom right hand corner.